Okay, now it's on.
Okay. We have one attendee, Kashminder Singh.
Oh, Sam is the attendee today.
So he's checking out on me actually.
doing your
I
part.
don't say anything bad. Okay, we'll just wait for the attendees to come in first, right?
Yep. I think let's give it like 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's give them 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's give them a solid 5 minutes. Well, in the meantime, we can just chit chat a bit, right?
Yeah.
Nothing and everything. What did you cook today? What are you guys having lunch for today? I hear Hazim has picked up cooking, right?
Yeah, I pick up a few cooking skills and cooking recipes through YouTube, and I think it's a blessing in disguise lah. I could learn all that during this MCO.
People can learn just about anything on YouTube. I think
betul. It's so easy right now.
Yep.
And
I think my youngest daughter picked up ukulele the past few days.
Really?
Already can play a few songs already.
Through YouTube.
Yep. Well, through YouTube and her siblings lah, so they play some ukulele lah.
Betul. Recently, just right after I got married lah 4 years ago, since my wife had a piano, so she put the piano at our house lah. And then kat situ I start to try to play around lah dengan piano ni, and thank God there's YouTube, there's these apps called Simply Piano that teach you the basic, the fundamental from A to Z about piano. And now I can play chords, I can play songs, piano.
Yeah lah, right. At least it keeps us occupied lah during this MCO time, right?
Yeah, betul.
And I think if you can keep yourself occupied, it's actually not so bad lah, right? Just waiting around lah, that's one.
The only bad thing is you, it's in your head, it's in your mind that you have been stuck in your house for quite some time.
Yeah, exactly. And then nowadays, if I go out, right, I kind of feel awkward outside because you've been staying in your house for that long, right?
Yeah, true. We have 12 attendees.
So currently we have around 12. So let's just wait for 5 minutes, right?
I think 10:35 we should.
Yep, can.
Sure, no worries.
Name.
Oops.
I know some of these names, the attendees. Apart from Cash and Sam, of course. So I see Dr. Chandra there from UM.
Oh.
So shall we give it a little bit more time, or you think we should start?
Another 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
2 minutes, huh?
No worries. So how's business? I mean, your business is still going on during this MCO time?
Of course, it is badly affected because our nature mainly is we are complementing e-hailing business, right?
Yeah.
So obviously right now e-hailing, the demand for e-hailing is very low because people are scared to go out, and of course our rental also going down lah.
Okay.
But that is when we have kicked off a new initiative during MCO last time, and it's starting to see the results, the increase of our rentals, yeah, in which I will explain briefly a little bit later.
That's great to hear. I think being able to adapt to the current situation is what makes a business great, you know?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
every
True.
business would find a situation where it's going to be badly affected by the current situation. You know? It's just a matter of how they respond to it, right?
True, true. And with all this technology that they had nowadays, I think there's a lot of things can be done. It's just that it takes patience and also time. You have to consider time into your consideration.
Exactly. So I think moving forward, we would see a bit more creativity coming from the startup ecosystem, I believe, right? Because of the situation. They're calling it the new norm, you know. So there's a lot of things that we're not going to be able to do even after the MCO, right?
Yeah. The new norm that I'm trying to digest right now is to raya at home.
Well, I'm actually quite thankful for that, considering the traffic jam we go through during Raya, right? Maybe staying at home during Raya is not such a bad idea.
Okay, I think.
So,
shall we?
Yeah, I think we can start now.
So
okay,
let's,
all right.
Let's start. Amirul, are you okay to start? Okay,
you
I
are
think you're
on mute.
muted.
My internet is not that stable, but yeah, should be okay now, hopefully.
Okay, because there's two of you, so if just like there's two of us, right? So if any of us drop for various reason, being unified, right?
Yeah.
So the other one will pick up the slack, right?
Okay, sure.
So, firstly, I would like to thank all of the attendees today, right, for sparing their time with us this beautiful Saturday morning, right?
Yeah.
Well, everybody's staying at home, I hope, right? And everybody's keeping active, keeping busy. Okay, so a little bit about pitchIN to start, right? So we are a crowdfunding platform. We've been established since 2012. And we've been licensed by Securities Commission to run equity crowdfunding since 2015, right? So we started raising funds since 2016, the first funds raised, and then we have raised over 66 million in the past coming up to 5 years, right? And over 51 issuers, right? Okay, so today we'll be hearing from the founders of Carpedia. They are a car sharing platform for transitional job seekers. That's how they identify themselves, right? And they've been around since 2013, I believe. And they are ran by a team of experienced entrepreneurs, right? Okay, so without further ado, I would invite Hazim. You'll be speaking first.
Yeah.
I would invite Hazim to speak.
Okay. Hi, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Sharizan, Onmoon, and the rest of pitchIN team for organizing this session for us, for Carpedia, in order for us to gauge with investors to raise to do this fundraising. And I would also like to thank all the audience that are attending here on this session today. This is our second private session that we conducted since the first one was last week. And why we want to do it again and again is basically because I believe, because based on the social impact that Carpedia has delivered all this while, I believe that our story should be heard by more people out there. And for the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be presenting our investment deck, our pitch deck. And although we will be talking and discussing about serious matter, serious subject, which is about business, about numbers, about the performance, and the investment, but I hope we can keep it as casual as possible and light as possible. And if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me and also Amirul. Yes. Amirul, the co-founder, is with me today to help answer all your questions at the end of the session. So if you have any question, please ask us. Okay, let me just share my screen. Is it on full screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good morning and thank you again. My name is Hazim. I am the CEO and also founder of Carpedia, a car sharing platform for transitional job seekers. So before I go any further, let me just brief you a bit on the chronicles of Carpedia. How did we started? Carpedia started back in 2013. We started as a car rental business in university. At that time, it was me and my schoolmates at that time, Rashid. We just started working and we always wanted to do business, but we didn't know what business to do. And we landed on an agreement, okay, we should do car rental business at university. Why? Because that is the only thing that we know back then. And second was the exposure for us to start the business is very minimal. Using my my loan facilities, I apply for a hire purchase loan and then purchase a car, got a car out at zero down payment, and then put it at university, hire a student to take care of it and expect nothing. But surprisingly, after 1 year, me and Rashid, we look at the report and P&L, we had a profit of 10,000 ringgit without doing anything. So that's when me and Rashid, we look back at each other, hey, I think we should do this seriously. So we took the car out from university and we rebrand the business to become Carpedia. This is when Carpedia was born. We brought in Amirul into the team. And we started to venture into open market. Open market here means we started to have government clients, corporate clients, tourism clients, and also started to venture in e-hailing industry, e-hailing clients, particularly Grab and Uber, in which they had just entered the market back then. After going into open market for 1 year, we decided in 2016 we want to focus to cater e-hailing industry only, mainly due to the lucrative business model, I would say. Why? Okay, let me just educate you a bit about car rental business. In car rental business, if you get a long-term leasing, it is a blessing. But in our experience in 2015, when we ventured into open market, when we start, it is quite struggle for us to get long-term leasing for corporate client, for government client, and also for tourism clients. But it is almost effortlessly and also natural for us to get long-term leasing for e-hailing renter. Why? Because people who want to rent for e-hailing, basically they want to rent to earn income, to make money. So they do it at least for 3 months minimum. So it's a bless for us. And that is when 2016, 2017 was when the time we saw, we started to grow the number of cars. And in 2017, something bad happened to us. What happened was we were too ambitious at that time. We thought that, okay, we got things covered. Now it's time for scale up. So within 6 months, we scale up real fast. Without realizing that our foundation of operation is very fragile at that time. So from 5 cars, we jumped to 50 cars within 6 months. And that is when I would say the whole thing went upside down. Our cash flow was disaster. Our operation was haywire. And ultimately, one of our car got stolen. And it took us the mistake that we did within 6 months, it took us 1 year for us to recover from it. And in 2018, we did business restructuring in terms of strategy and try to grow organically. And 2018 was also the year that we learned that data is very important. And one of the findings that we got from the data is about the driver's demography. When we saw a pattern of people renting around in between 3 to 6 months only, and we saw that initially as a problem. But the deeper that we find out that those people who are actually renting with us, they are actually job seekers. Job seekers meaning to say they are doing this just temporarily. They are not doing this forever. They just do this during their transition from after they graduate, for fresh graduates, and or after they got retrenched or in the transition to go to the next job. So this is where we identify that our market is there and start to fine tune moving towards that. And there goes 2019, last year. 2019 was a good year to us. Our revenue got stronger and we grew our team to a bigger size. And last year also we managed to establish strategic partnership with big names such as Perodua, Grab, MyCar, and also a few other companies. And here we are in 2020, we are ready for our first time fundraising and for expansion plan. And if you notice, we have redefined ourselves a few times throughout the years. For the first 3 years, we were just a traditional car rental business. But after that, we defined ourselves as a car rental for e-hailing. And now we evolve again, that we see ourselves as a car sharing platform for job seekers. I will explain about the business model later. Okay, talking about the problems, what markets that we want to solve, what problems that we're going to solve is every year there are around 300,000 fresh graduates that graduates every year. And out of this fresh graduate, 1 out of 5 remain unemployed for 6 months after graduation. Within 6 to 12 months, these fresh graduates fail to get a job, I would say. And 25% of them are degree holders who are unemployed. And combine fresh graduates with existing job seekers that currently unemployed, it makes up to 400 to 500,000 unemployment a year. Yeah. And why are they unemployed? Number one, because the supply and demand. The course that is offered at university right now doesn't really match what the job market are really demanding out there. And number two, lack of job hunting skills, because we have to acknowledge that the skills, the job hunting, the method to job hunting nowadays is not the same as how we did it back then in 10 to 20 years ago. It's different. There's a social media, there's a LinkedIn, there's emails, and all those should be capitalized by job seekers. And lack of entrepreneurial skills, which is important either for career or starting a business. Not only entrepreneurial skills is not only important for business owners, but also I think it's also important for working class. So that is where Carpedia comes in handy. All this while, given our car rental background, car rental business background, how we acquire car is we don't own any single car at all. The only car that we own is the car that we bought back then in 2013. That's all. And how we get cars after that is we get the cars from you, from people who have a second or third car at home, and the car is just idle, sitting at home, not really moving. And yet, every month, you still pay for monthly installment of the car. So what we offer to the car owner, say, why don't you put the car with us? We give you a fixed income every month, because technically like we are renting from you, and we rent it out to these job seekers so that these job seekers could earn money by becoming an entry e-hailing driver. And in the meantime, they will also be exposed to other gig economy opportunities. For example, while driving e-hailing, they can also do parcel delivery. They can also do car wrapping advertisement, in which you drive around and you get paid for it, and also doing personal grocery shopper. And these are some of the names that that we have collaborated with so far. And the business model is packaged into 3 different packages. The first one is share and earn. This is where car owners can put your car with us and we rent it out to job seekers. Number 2 is ride and earn. Ride and earn is where the job seekers can rent the car with us and start the journey by becoming an entry e-hailing driver. And also learn and earn. Learn and earn is an upsell or additional package that we offer to our drivers and our participant to educate and enhance their employability and increase gig economy awareness while waiting for permanent job. This is mainly we teach them how to improve their CV, how to job hunting properly, yeah. And these services that we offered has caught the attention and has already been success stories around it, and it has brought the social impact to society. Hence, we were called several times by mainstream media to educate Malaysians about our services. We have been called up by BFM 89.9, Bernama TV going live, and also Bernama Radio, and also on digital media platform. And this is the outlook of the management team, which is led by me and 3 other directors and co-founders, which is Amirul, Wan Fairuz, and also Rashid. And we have positioned 3 critical leaders, key leaders, to be part of the crucial departments in Carpedia to steer the business direction. And how did we do so far? In 2019, our revenue for 2019 was at 850,000 ringgit, in which it was a 64% growth as compared to 2018. And this 850,000 revenues, 94% of the revenues come from the share and earn and ride and earn package, while only 6% coming from learn and earn. And right now, currently, we are managing 70 cars under our management. And since 2017, we already served 2,000 numbers of customer database. And for the next 5 years, what are we going to do to grow the company further, to grow the business further? There are 4 key areas that we have put in. Strategy number 1 is for the market expansion. Right now, like I mentioned just now, we have 70 number of cars. For the next 5 years, we want to grow the number of cars to 2,000 cars minimum. And with the 2,000 cars of possession that we had, we are going to outreach the market up to until 50,000 grads and job seekers. And then strategy number 2 is technology adoption. Bear in mind that right now, with the resources that Carpedia had and all this while, how we run our revenue, we are doing it on manual process, means Excel, everything is still scattered and manual. So what we wish to be done in the future when we had the fund and we had the resources is we want to put the process flow on digital platform so that we could improve the efficiency and productivity of the business. The third one is on vertical partnership. Like I mentioned earlier, we have done a collaboration with big names, and we wish that we can do it more so that we can improve our business model and also improve our margins. For example, after this next collaboration that we expect to happen with financial institution, so that we can leverage better on how to expand drive the expansion plan. And of course, with all this strategy coming in, we would need good talents to be on board with us. In these 5 years strategy growth plan is translated into revenues of 40 million at the end of 2024, in which the big chunk of the revenues will be coming from Ride and Earn and Share and Earn program, while the rest will be coming from Learn and Earn and also some ancillary revenues. And this is the financial performance of Carpedia. Note that there are too many numbers here, but there are a few things that I want to highlight. Just to get you understand on this chart is 2017-2019 was actual numbers, which is from the audited reports. And what I want you to see is, first one is on revenue. Note that with limited resources that we had all this while, we projected a strong revenue growth over the next 5 years, driven mainly, like I mentioned before, by the expansion of fleet from up to 2,000 number of cars in 5 years' time. And it will be translated into revenue growth of 40 million by the 5th year. And then the gross profit. Note that for the past 3 years, we have been working towards improving our gross margin. And ideally, we want to hit gross margin of 40% like you see in the next projection. And we believe we can do that by doing a better strategy with to reduce the cost of sales. For example, what we did at the end of last year, when we backed a deal with Auto House KL, it's a car workshop, car workshops that has around 15 branches in KL, in which bring down the maintenance costs down to 10% of our cost of sales, which is a very good story, very good news to us. And also next is what we want you to see is the operating cash flow. This tells us that for the past 3 years, we have been cash flow positive. We as a business, we did not get any we did not do any fundraising before. We only grow organically, but yet we were still profitable. And we are confident with the fund that we are getting from you guys, from the investors, we are confident that we can deliver our core business, core package even further, and it can continue to provide a healthy cash flow in 5 years' time. So, fellow investors, we are seeking to raise up to 1.5 million for 10% equity stake via issuance of new shares. And how are we going to use the money? 50% of the fund will be allocated for new market penetration, in which we are going to do that to acquire more cars, and also marketing to reach out to many fresh graduate and job seekers out there. Second part is on technology enhancement. We are going to use the money, like I mentioned before, on our second strategy is we want to adopt technology so that we could improve efficiency and also productivity of the business. And also as a working capital to cover operational requirement up to 6 to 7 months of cash runway. And in return, what we are offering to you, to investors is, we target by the 5th year that we want to go IPO or M&A. What we are going to offer for you investors is we are seeking for a minimum target of 500,000 and a maximum target of 1.5 million in exchange of 10% ordinary shares, in which the minimum investment with us is at one lot is equivalent to 40 shares, equivalent to 2,700 ringgit. And what in return that you will get is down the lane in 5 years, we are going to exit by going IPO or M&A at IRR of 33% or equivalent to 4.1 money multiple. And we are very positive on the possibility of going IPO and M&A, since we are aware now that even ACE market has loosened up their requirement for that. Yeah. And then I would like to announce that there are incentives for early birds investors who put the money with us, who invest with us early. You will get extra incentive, and we have classified it into 3 tiers, as you can see here. Tier 1, if you are buying one in between range 1 to 40 blocks, you will get 5% additional shares on entitled share. And if you buy for tier 2, between 41 and 100, you get 10%. And if you buy more, you get 15%. For example, let's say if you buy one block today, you buy one lot, you get 40 shares. But because you buy it early, you invest with us early, so you get 5% additional more. So you get another 2 shares on top of 40 shares that you get by default. Okay. And lastly, I just want to say that given the track record that we have provided with very minimal resources that we had, I think we managed to prove that we are a group of agile and robust people, strive to chase our dream till our last sweat. And I would like for all of you to own a piece of Carpedia, because one thing for sure, we at Carpedia, we want to make money. And we also want you to make money. And we believe that by having you on board with us, we can reach that even faster and even further. With that, I thank you. Let's open up to Q&A.
Okay, thank you, Hazim, for that wonderful presentation. Okay, so you guys want to open up for Q&A now?
Yep.
Or another presentation? No?
There's another presentation? No.
No? Okay, all right.
No.
So let's open up for Q&A.
Yep.
Anybody from the attendees who would like to ask a question, there's a button there to raise your hands, and I will allow you to speak. Okay, while waiting for any of the attendees to ask any questions. Okay, so we have Zamir Rashid.
Yeah, Zamir. Brother Zamir, yes.
Thanks Hazim, thanks Jay for Hello.
Hello, hi.
Am I can I say can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks Hazim, thanks Jai for the presentation. It's been interesting. It's good to see your passion and your not giving up attitude. Anyway, I want to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
You are focusing on the job seekers fulfilling all these gig economy. So I've got 2 immediate questions that I want to ask, and probably some follow-up questions maybe you can have after this or a later time.
Okay.
But first of all, in this do no evil, try to be kind to everyone trending in the world, how does the job seeker actually fare when they use your services? How much can they actually make a profit? Can they actually have for themselves, and how much actually can they expect? As a job seeker, if we use your services, how much can they actually save? How much can they actually make based on the gig economy that's available, e-hailing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So do they actually benefit and prosper based on the services that you offer? And if you can provide a couple of examples of that, some testimonials or things like that, then that will make a bit more interest on the service, okay? Because like you are solving a particular problem. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's see what sort of benefit actually those people get.
Okay.
So second question that I have is that you're projecting your revenue growth accordingly. I think you failed to mention how you're actually going to get or can those revenues be generated. Mm-hmm. But at the very least, I think since you are targeting job seekers with fulfilling the gig economy, Can we see some correlation of your revenue projections based on the gig economy projections? You know, how does do we have any data on the forecast on gig economy in Malaysia?
You mean in market size? Okay.
Size, how the growth, and so on. You know, so this is just basically trying to. Does your you know, projections make sense and stuff like that?
Yep. Understood. Okay. Thank you, Bro Zamir, for the interesting question. You have any other questions?
No, you can mute me.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay. The first question is about how much can these job seekers make by participating in our package. Okay. First of all, I would like to put a disclaimer that we are educating to the job seekers that you are doing this not forever. You are doing this just for temporary, because in Malaysian statistic is saying that an average job seeker will spend at least 6 to 12 months to get a job right now with our current economic situation right now. So our Carpedia questions to the market, to the job seekers is, within these 6 to 12 months, what do? You can't be just sitting at home doing nothing, right? So you have to do something about it. And most of the people out there, job seekers, sadly, they are not doing anything to earn income while waiting for jobs. This is what we want to change. This is what we want to educate to people. And hey, there are opportunities out there, simple jobs that are proven to give you resourceful, steady income on a monthly basis. And how you should start is by renting the car with us and start by becoming an entry e-hailing driver. Okay, just to give you a case study on how much can a driver make every month. In average, an e-hailing driver alone can make, ni jangan cerita pasal MCO. MCO is different case, totally different case. Ni during normal days, they can earn up to 200 to 300 ringgit gross per day. Yeah, and after tolak minyak kereta and the cost and whatnot, in average every month they can earn in average a minimum of 2,500 to 4,000 ringgit a month. So for someone who don't have a job and someone who don't have a permanent and steady job, I think that I could fairly say that it is a good income stream for them to sustain their life, to put food on the table.
Can I add a little bit, Azim?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Basically, just to add to Hazim's point and to answer Bro Zamir's question, one, we are positioning ourselves as a car sharing platform for transitional job seekers, and I echo Hazim that the fact that statistics shows that people have to wait 6 to 12 months to get a good job, a stable job, and this is pre-MCO. Post-MCO, this is pre-COVID-19. Post-COVID-19, I think it is going to get worse.
Yep.
But the fact that Hazim say that the net income is between 2,500 to 4,000, it is a good money given the situation that if you go and check on our fresh graduates, those engineering graduates, some are even offered degree. I'm talking about the engineering graduate having degree. They are nowadays are being offered 1,800 per month, 2,000 ringgit per month. If you get 2,500, it's already a blessing for them. So that's why how we want to help our youngsters, our job seekers, is that by doing this while you are waiting for your first job, for a better job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the idea of us at Carpedia, we are putting values and we want to add more values to this driver by introducing other opportunities as well, other gig economy opportunities as well. So And rather than just being an e-hailing driver, they can also become a personal shopper. They can also doing parcel delivery, so that would add to their income. Yeah. Okay, that is question number one. And question number two is on the market size. Okay, I am sorry, but I don't have the number with me right now. But if I can remember, the number was projected based on the market expansion for e-hailing industry particularly, because it is fair to say that for gig economy, the biggest industry for gig economy right now is e-hailing. Right now, we are standing at the value of market size of RM 2 billion, if I'm not mistaken, 2 billion ringgit Malaysia as of 2019. And up until 2024, I think the number will grow up to 5 billion market size in 2024. And for Carpedia, our target is only we want to penetrate at a penetration rate of 7 to 10% only, and that translates into the number and revenue that we projected lah. But to give you in detail, maybe I can have a session with you separately in private.
And we will also add this to the Q&A section in our business profile, Azim.
Yep, can.
Okay, we have another question from Mr. Nur Azam. I will allow him to talk now.
Yep, can.
Okay, Mr. Nur Azam. Okay. Mr. Nur Azam, you have to unmute your microphone because I can't unmute you. Okay.
Hello? Are you?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Assalamualaikum. Good morning. Good presentation, Azim.
Thank you.
I have two questions. One is with the current situation of MCO, how is your business running now? I saw several weeks back that you were approaching on a different way, that you do personal shopping, buy groceries, all that sort of things. I'm interested to know, I know so far, how is it against your business model that you have all these right and earns and share and earns. That's
Understood.
number one. Number two, of course, I think your time of pitching for funding is actually quite crucial in gaining people confidence now. Basically, this is where the transition of business longevity and sustainability will thrive for all businesses. So when you do your projection, you are saying that your 2020, you are looking at, can't remember what's the number, about 20 million your revenue? 2 million revenue.
2 million
revenue. So interestingly, I know it probably is premature to us, but how's your first quarter of 2020 now with your projection of revenue of 2 million? That's only my two questions.
Okay. Can I answer question number one and you took question number two? Amirul?
Yeah.
Okay. First question is about how is the business doing when this MCO and COVID-19 coming in. Okay. I will just be transparent with you that this MCO and also COVID-19 hit us pretty bad. Our revenue got hit more than 50%. In which,
but for March only.
Yeah, but starting March lah, and because of that, our core business, our core package, which is through Ride and Earn and Share and Earn, Ride and Earn lah, the car rental punya revenue stream tu, memang drop, and the consequences that we are facing right now is drivers, they are not confident to drive because of two reasons. One is because there's not much demand of e-hailing out there. They can't make money. Number two is they are scared because of the risk of being infected lah to the COVID-19. Okay, but there's nothing much that we can do second reason. Kalau orang takut tu tak boleh nak buat apa. But there are drivers out there yang memang nak, they understand the risk of being infected, but they faham and they still want to go out and about making money. But there's not much opportunity out there in terms of doing e-hailing. So that what we did during the first week of MCO, we quickly come up with a new initiative. It's a non-profit initiative that we call it Carpedia Mart, in which what we do is this pool of drivers that currently we had actively driving with us, we promote this Carpedia Mart and utilize this driver to do a personal grocery shopping so that they could boost their income through Carpedia Mart. Carpedia right now, because it is a very baby and very immature package and module, so right now it is still on non-profit basis, but in the future, especially after the COVID-19, also post MCO, that is really something that we could think of how can we monetize. And to put it, I think it's also a blessing in disguise, because since this MCO and COVID-19 coming in, we had a new product in line that we think that is very feasible in the future. But let's put the Carpedia Mart story aside, because that is not the focus of today's discussion. It is more on how are we going to do with the ride and earn and share and earn package. So what will happen when we introduce Carpedia Mart is that will increase the confidence of driver to earn income and also add the demand for them to boost their income. So that will particularly directly help us in getting the number of cars running back. So when we get the cars running back, it will give us the revenue, and hopefully we can recover the revenue as soon as we can. And right now, after 3 weeks kita dah run Carpedia Mart ni, we have seen a very positive progress, and new drivers has already started to run back. So wish us luck through this tough time.
Okay, so the next question comes from Mr. Khairil. I will allow you to talk now.
There's another question from
if I can just quickly answer that. So basically, we are still preparing our Q1 financial report, which should be ready hopefully within the next 1 to 2 weeks, or I would say 2 weeks from now. So that once we have that numbers ready, we will share it, I believe, through our Q&A session on our business profile. Azim?
Yep, Ken.
Okay, Mr. Khairil.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for your interesting pitch. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I have 2 questions. The first one, how do you compete with the other established car sharing players such as Soka, Mobi, Mobile, Wahda, Galzika? I think there are a few others established players in the space, right? Okay, that's the first one. I think the second one, I think I have the same question with the previous audience. I think your estimated first quarter, and then what's your revised forecast annual revenue for this year? Yeah, that's all.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me take the first question. How do we differentiate ourselves from other competitors? For your information, Soka is not really a car sharing platform, because Soka own all the assets on their own. So they are technically, they own the car, and then they put it at multiple locations. But how do we differentiate ourselves from Movebi, for example? Yes, Movebi is a car sharing platform, and I think in terms of fleet size right now, Movie is the leading player in the car sharing platform. But right now, how we differentiate ourselves is there is no one that has been doing car sharing platform that is supplying to a very niche target market, which is for e-hailing driver and also for job seekers. And on top of that, how we differentiate ourselves that no one else is doing is we combine a few other gig economy opportunities to be exposed to these drivers. So that is the USP that we are providing that no one else are doing right now. And rather than playing in a very crowded playground, we prefer to play on our own playground by simply creating our own opportunity and market lah. So that's how I would answer the first question. And the second question is, like Amirul mentioned just now, that we are still preparing the first quarter report, but from the P&L report of February until March, I think March is exceptional because this MCO coming in, and definitely the performance of business went down. But for January and February, I would say that we are surpassing our target for January and February in terms of number of cars that we get, because the main, if I can show you the revenue number. This one, if I can show the first line, the 2 million revenue will come from 110 number of cars. Yeah, 110 number of cars here, fleet size.
Correct.
That is the main driver, in which as of February, that is translated into 5 cars a month that we should bring in to be run in our operation. But as of February, our rate of introducing new cars and renting it out to new drivers in the market are average at 15 cars a month. We are surpassing our target. So, but of course, due to this MCO and March particularly, we had to slow down the number of cars that we are accepting, because there's a lot of cash flow impact that we have to endure in taking the cars coming in. So that's how I would answer the second question.
So to further add to Hazim's question, to Hazim's answer. So basically, if you can see Hazim, go to the slide. Yeah. So basically, if you see by end of 2019, we had 58 cars, and within 2 months, January and February, we have already added up to 70 cars.
Yep.
To get to our numbers. So basically, how we do, actually, when we prepare this financial modeling, we have actually revised it to take into impact of a few things that happening, and that's why you see that our growth trajectory projection for 2020, I would say, is quite moderate. That it is not aggressive at all. So
conservative,
conservative, yeah. So from 70 cars to 110 cars, we only need to add another 40 cars.
Yeah, I think that is so. I think that I would confidently say that it's easy for us.
Yeah, and for March, yes, we acknowledge we are impacted, but as you can see, as any other companies that they are out there in the market, you can see that they are also pivoting or they are also adapting during this COVID-19 MCO to bring in to change, not to really change, but to ensure the sustainability of the business. You can see that the lorry is also doing groceries. A few other companies is also doing groceries, and that's why and what we are telling you, we are also very fast to react. And within the first week, we are already doing our study, and we have to do our pilot test, and within 3 weeks, we already get about close to 1,000 inquiries and entertaining about close to more than hundreds of
100 jobs.
job orders. Yeah.
Job orders, yeah, true.
Yeah. So to answer that question is that how I want to convince the investors that don't just look at the numbers now, don't just look at the current situation that we are in, because we are in this for a long term. We are going for a long term. So if you just be scared of the current situation, then you might miss the opportunity on our plan to scale up to, for our growth. Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Right. So we have two more person asking a question. I will put them live in a bit.
Can.
I want Azim and Amirul to take a look at the Q&A section. We have a few questions there also, so you can type in your answer while they are
I'm taking note, but because we are answering live, so if I can try to answer, I will answer here now. But what I'm going to tell, there is one question that I want Hazim to pick up. Maybe Hazim can pick up this now.
Okay.
So just look at it, and I'm putting Mr. Nabil now to ask his question.
Yeah, Nabil Nasir, is it?
Yep.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, Azim.
Waalaikumsalam, Cik Nabil. Apa khabar?
My bro, okay. Assalamualaikum, okay. Alhamdulillah, sihat. Okay, Azim and Carpedia. The first thing, thank you so much for the teaching. It's very interesting. Okay, I have two questions. The first one is about the zakat. Might be, I want to ask as a Muslim, the investment that I get, which is the what I call as a dividend, including the zakat 2.5 or excluding, including such as the tabung haji or excluding such as SB. This is the first question. Okay. Okay. The second question is, you hear it? Dengar tak?
Dengar.
Yeah, okay. The second question is about what is your Gantt chart or the last timeline to make sure that the 1.5 million will the Carpedia will get the 1.5 million, which is the last time frame to make sure that the what I call as your planning is will follow.
Okay. Faham?
Okay. The third one is okay.
Tambah beranak pula ni.
Okay. The third one is about when the investor will get the what you call as the sharing, the profit sharing. If I as a inventor pump the money this year, and then what is your projection for the investor to get the dividend? Okay. It's okay. So, three question. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for the question, Nabil. For everyone's information, Nabil is one of the hosts that put cars with us, and they get the cars running with us. He bought the new cars and put it with us, and he is currently enjoying the passive income every month. Okay, first question is about dividend or zakat, and no, I think it's about zakat. What I want to be clear of here is, maybe pitchIN can correct me if I'm wrong. This has nothing to do with the zakat. I think the zakat has to be managed by your own personal individual capacity to manage the zakat. And I don't think that this investment will take into account the zakat that you're going to contribute for your BE, or I don't know. That is on the first question. On the second question, when is we are planning to close the 1.5 mil deal? Okay, right now we just started first week of our pre-live. Pre-live means early birds lah. Maknanya dalam pitchIN or dalam ECF punya phase ni, there will be pre-live session and also live session. Pre-live ni, usually company are doing it at around 2 months. But I think the best timing for us to go live from pre-live to live, I think we're gonna do it in mid-May. Mid-May, somewhere around Raya, somewhere around slightly after Raya, yeah. But tentatively, it's on mid-May. Maknanya mid-May
to June.
Mid-May ni kita dah tutup pre-live. That means all the incentives that we offered, yang incentive this one will not be available anymore once we go live. So you might want to catch us early during this pre-live session so that you can enjoy the additional entitled shares ni lah. Okay, the third one is on I lost it. It's about sharing, but what was it?
The third one is on the annual dividend.
Okay, annual dividend. Okay, if I can answer that. You want to answer?
Yeah, if
Okay.
I can answer this.
Okay, can.
So basically, this has been asked earlier in the earlier rounds of preview session, and this has been actually answered in our Q&A section in our business profile. But I can read out for you the answer. So basically, we are planning to give dividends, annual dividends to shareholders, subject to the availability of the audited profits and the capital requirements in the subsequent year. So we plan to distribute the annual dividend within 6 months after end of each financial year. That's the answer to this question.
Okay.
Alright.
Right.
Okay, you guys are still good to take another
Hey,
question.
boleh.
Follow-up
Yeah.
question from Mr. Nur Azam.
Yeah.
Oh, another question from Mr. Nur Azam.
Yes, there's
Okay,
a follow-up question.
Can.
Mr. Nur Azam?
Hi guys.
Yep.
Thanks for answering my question.
Did we answer your questions just now?
Second question almost, but anyway, at least you guys are trying to come up with your audit numbers later on. So
Yeah.
I think I have to allow you guys to do that first.
Yeah.
Two questions. Number one, I just realized that there is when you talk about your fleet, I just realized below there you're talking about 3,600 CVs. And apparently I just realized that is that an earning that you get in sell? I mean, you mentioned selling CVs. So is this are you doing recruitment also in between that you are selling CVs? I'm just curious to see why you mentioned 3,600 CVs.
Okay.
As part of your data.
Okay. If I can answer this, if I can take this question, you have another question?
I have another one.
Okay.
Apparently you have another session before. Just curious, how much investment that you already managed to get. I mean, this is second session, so probably you already have your first session investment come in.
Yep. Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Wait I jot down, nanti terlupa. Okay. The first question is about CV. Okay. What we did to have multiple revenue streams coming in our pipeline is we also sell CV in our third package. This one.
The optional package.
Yeah, the upsell and optional package. This one, learn and earn, the third one. So what we did was, we find out actually from those people who are renting with us, they are actually job seekers. They want to find steady jobs, but what they lack behind is they don't know with the current technology today and with the job market today, what is the most efficient way and good way to hunt a job, to get a job. So these people, mainly why they fail to get a job is because they fail to get a job interview. And why they fail to get a job interview is because they don't be able to manage, to sell themselves through a CV. Because CV, we believe, CV is the ticket or the first impression ticket for employer. If you put crap in, sorry for my language, if you put crap in your CV, how are you going to impress the employer to even call you up for the first interview? So what we did was, this is Amirul's expertise, Amirul's baby. Amirul was in HR and also recruitment and also this career coaching for the past 10 years. And he knows inside and out of the recruitment nature and world. And what he did for the past 10 years was he managed to formulate one CV template that has helped over, I think, 2,000 people out there using the CV. So the idea just came up last year between me and Amirul. Hey, why don't we offer to sell this CV to all our participants, and also open it up to all the job seekers out there? So what we did, we managed to come out with one online product that we had, which is the CV Power. The CV Power that we sell it online, that we just started, I think, September or October last year. And we put it as a pilot test. And in the first month, we just sell it online. We managed to get 30,000 of sales just by selling Word document. So yeah, that is how the message I want to send here is we are a group of agile people. We are a group of, we understand how business works, and we want to make money.
And we understand our markets.
Yeah, and we understand our market well, and we have the data captured for us. What else can we sell to this market? Yeah, that is the answer to that. But CV, we put it as a lower priority as compared to car rental and also ride and earn, because it relatively is still new. And so that's why the number projection for CV also, we put it a very conservative numbers. Okay, and then for the second question, as of today, after 1 week of launching pre-live, we have managed to get a total of 20k aja. A total of 20k received hard cash already received in the trustee account. And how much is for the pledge?
Pledge is around 70k
of pledge. Meaning to say that people put in pitchIN, hey, I want to invest, but not now, but not going to put now. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Yeah. So the pledge that people put is around 60 to 70, and the real money that already put in our account is at 20k.
Okay, guys, let me run through some of the Q&A that the attendees has typed.
Sharisan, I think there is one that I think good for Hazim to answer is on this question. Why job seekers will come to you to earn through e-hailing while waiting for permanent job and not to retail industry, etc. How confident you are on your marketing strategy to ensure these people choose Carpedia? I never heard of Carpedia brand before. We show brand presence is not that strong. I would like to know how the fund will help you in your marketing strategy.
Okay, that's a very good question.
Yeah,
that's a very good question, because in order for you, okay, for example, I relate to my previous experience. When I was looking for jobs, I worked with Starbucks as a barista, but the process for you to go to Starbucks is not that easy, you know. Even going to Giordano, I believe Amirul, when he was looking for a job, he worked at Giordano boutique.
Yeah.
You have to went through interviews, and there's a lot of competitors, and there's not really much vacancy out there. And with current situation, with the economic contraction, it's even less position for you out there. But for e-hailing, we can cater that. We can provide more job opportunities by the number of cars that we are increasing. Yeah, and the requirement is so simple. As long as you have IC, as long as you have license, as long as you don't have any criminal record, then you are good to go. You can earn money. You can earn 2,000 to 3,000 a month. By doing these simple jobs. And it's just simple jobs. It's just like how you work for barista and how you work at Giordano.
And if you compare to effort, this is talking from experience. I've worked in Giordano. If you're talking about retail, I have to stand for at least 8 to 10 hours. And for God's sake, I only get 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer that, definitely it is a better opportunity if you compare to retail, where you have to stand, even if there is no customer, you have to stand. and the effort, we are talking about effort. I think how we want to help the job market out there is basically using, because people have the same time, 24 hours. People have so-called same energy effort at that age range. So why if you can choose a better opportunity, why not? So e-hailing for us as an entry point is a good opportunity to earn income. And that's why what we are doing, we are going to expose them to other opportunities as well.
Yep. And okay, and then I believe there's a second question. Second question is on marketing. Yeah. Okay, I think it's about question of chicken and egg. Note that all this while we have been doing this with our organic money, the money that we earn from our profit.
Yeah, true.
So we have not been fundraising before. So the number, the amount, the luxury that we have to do marketing is limited. So that's why, hence the reach, the reach that we got. Also, as you can see, as you mentioned earlier, you might feel that it is not strongly present in the market. Yeah, I could fairly agree with that. But with the investment money that we got, that is where we are going to intensify our marketing, not just online, but also offline. Because all this while, we have been doing our marketing, I think 99.9% online, and with very limited budget.
And through as well, through my followers.
Yeah. So with the funding that we got, we can be able to allocate the budget more on marketing, on digital, and also do it also on offline. And one of the offline marketing activity that we have already planned is we are going to have a collaboration with university. We are going to do tour at university to educate the final year student maybe about, hey, guys, you are graduating in a few months, and this is your and there are this opportunity for you. If you don't get your job after you graduate, there are opportunity for you to become a gig economy worker by doing e-hailing and by participating in Carpedia's program. Yeah, something like that.
And that is where I think Carpedia comes in handy, because we are positioning, again, I want to reiterate, we are positioning ourselves as the transitional the platform, car sharing platform for the transitional job seekers. So we don't go to the market out there pitching to them. I mean, trying to ask them to be with us forever. Although some that are currently with us already close to 4 years, 5 years. Yeah. So but that's not the point that we are trying to say, and the problem that we are trying to solve. Yeah.
Yep. True. Questions, Sharizan?
We don't have a live question, but there are still a few unanswered questions at the Q&A. So you want to pick out any of them? Some of them are quite basic. Let me just summarize some of the questions.
Yep, can.
We have questions about is there a minimum rental duration for idle car owners that needs to be fulfilled, and what about repairs and maintenance relating to the accident charges?
Yep. I'll take this one. Okay, the cars. If you are interested to put cars with us, first of all, I would have to put a disclaimer this time, because I think at previous session I did not specify what cars that we take. So there's a lot of inquiries coming in. They want to put the BMW. They want to put okay. I just want to make it clear to you that we are doing e-hailing services. We are catering e-hailing market. So the cars that are going to be used also, it has to be suitable with e-hailing market. Even though there are demands for BMW and luxury cars, but we are targeting the massive here, the masses here. So we are only accepting cars from Peru 2 right now. Hence the reason why, if you can see from our partnership that we did, is we've had a collaboration with Peru 2, with which we can buy, and the easy access that we get from Peru 2 to get the car out and running with us. What else? And the
repairs and maintenance.
The number of cars, no, the year, the age of the cars, it should be less than 5 years, because we want to make sure that when the renter rents the car with us, the car is in good condition and we do not compromise on safety reason at all. And the third thing is on maintenance, record maintenance. Once you put the car with us, Carpedia will bear 100% maintenance and will bear 100% road tax insurance. Yeah, so you don't have to fork out any single cents on maintenance and also road tax insurance. We will pay that, we will cover that on your behalf. And what you will get is a fixed rental amount every month. So technically, like I mentioned earlier, technically we are renting the car from you. So we should pay you a fixed amount of rent every month. And we make sure that the amount that you get at minimum 150 to 200 ringgit of positive cash flow every month.
Okay, so just a couple of more quick questions before we wrap up, I think. Yeah. Why are you just targeting fresh graduates? Are you looking beyond them, full-timers and whatnot?
Yeah.
And also, regarding your cash flow during this COVID-19, yeah, how long do you have to survive before you need to raise funds? So those are a couple of quick questions that we have.
Miro, you want to take the first one?
Your mic is muted, Miro.
The one that why customer demographic?
Yeah, customer demographic limited to job seekers.
Again, I think to answer this is basically we are positioning ourselves as a car sharing that mainly for transitional job seekers. Yeah, and they are when we talk about transitional job seekers, they are mainly coming from either fresh graduates who are waiting for the next stable, better jobs, or people who have been retrenched, and also anyone that is going through any ways of changing jobs. All right. So not to say that we limit only to them, but this is the target. This is the market that we are targeting. We understand cars are cars, but these are the markets that we are trying to target, because they are a big problem that we are also wanting to be part in solving it, which is the employment, which is the employment rate. Yeah, high unemployment rate. So basically, but to answer this question, we do have people who are doing this full time. Like I said, they are already with us for close to 4 years. We also do have people that housewives. This is also have been answered in the Q&A section in our business profile, on pitchIN site. They are housewives. They are also elderly people. So basically, as long as they are convenient to use apps, they are good with apps, tech savvy enough to use apps, and like Hazim said, have IC, have license, can drive,
and enjoy driving.
Then yes, we accept them. Yeah. Okay.
So the other question was about your cash flow and how do you ensure that you during this COVID-19 event, and how do you ensure your investors are protected?
Okay, so basically, at the moment, like Hazim has explained, our revenue, our monthly revenue for Jan and February are good. We are only slightly impacted in March. Things are still running. We are still paying our suppliers. We are still paying our investors. We are still paying our staff salary. We are still paying the statutory deductions. So to answer that, we are still doing fine, because we are, like Hazim said, we are a group of agile people. We quickly react by introducing the non-profitable initiative, Carpedia Mart, to help our car renter to earn income, and from there they use that money to pay the rental to us. So yes, and to echo Hazim and to make it clear to everyone, we already started to get people to rent car with us again. You know, it has been stopped for about one, but now we already have people who are confident that they can earn by renting car with us. So these people already started renting with us, and they are already started on board with us again. So once we get the numbers of cars running again up to the full capacity that we have, then we should be good.
Okay, if I can add something on this, I think the concern is more on whether Carpedia can survive or not with the cash flow or the financial and managing the financial. Okay, first thing, how are we going to face this challenging situation? Number one is we don't have option right now because basically this pandemic is happening to everyone. So how we are managing it right now is using our reserve cash that we had all this while. If you can see from the numbers here, that is the money that we are going to that we are using it to survive right now. But we acknowledge that we are not going to sustain that forever through this reserve, because technically if we do that, we are doomed lah. So what other initiative that we are doing is we are going to top up that with all the financial aid that we had right now that government introduced. We are aggressively applying for that so that we can better manage the runway, the budget runway, and also this fundraising also is part of it. And also how we manage our stakeholders is, of course, everyone is negotiating right now. So we also are not excluded. We negotiated with our car hosts, the investors that that been with us to leverage on whatever facilities that we have right now. For example, moratorium. Yeah, that's how we maneuver the business in this tough and critical situations.
Yeah, and we have to acknowledge any businesses that exist currently, they are doing the best to negotiate, to stagger the payment, to delay the payment, to perhaps pay certain amount of money only, so that they can preserve the cash and manage the cash flow better. So is the same thing that we business people do in Carpedia. And to further add, Carpedia has applied for a few financial aids. So we already received our program subsidy upah that is going to that we will get for April, May, and June. And there are a few more that we have applied that the officer said it is good that we can get. You know, like the micro, like the BSN and Tekun and a few more others. So all the either zero interest rate or very minimum interest rate that we are applying, that we have. So
okay. Because we are currently running quite long, so we take the last question from Mr. Zamir, and then after this we'll wrap up. Is it okay?
Okay, boleh. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, without trying to delay any further, just quickly, couple of questions. Your gross profit target for currently is about 4,400 per car if you have 70 cars, right? And for next year, you're targeting for this year 110 cars. The gross profit goes up to 7,600 per car. So this is per car increase of profit is almost double. I'm not sure how you can, without going into detail, I'm not sure how you can get a double gross profit per car.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch your number lah. You were saying
basically your gross profit for 2019 was 306,500, and you said you had 70 cars this year. So that is effectively 4,400 ringgit revenue gross profit per car. And
revenue gross profit per car per year.
Yeah. So if you look at 2020, you are expecting to increase your fleet from 70 to 110, which is, you said, very, very doable, which is okay, fair enough. But your gross profit increased by from 306 to 832.
I see.
And you divide this by 110 cars, effectively you get 7,600 gross profit per car.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how this increase in gross profit per car. I mean, it's quite steep, almost 80% increase per car within without. I'm not sure what you're doing, but basically it's quite a big increase lah.
Okay. All right.
You can explain that. Lastly, your pre-fundraising valuation is 13,500,000. Your fundraising at 13.5 million. But your actual current valuation, you're targeting 15 million, which is 1.5 million investment for 10% share in total. The valuations that you provide are close to tech, being a tech company. You know, for a tech company, you get high valuations like this, which is fine. But like you said, you are using the funds that's coming, about 450,000 to develop your platform. So I'm not sure whether you think this valuation is fair. I personally don't think it's fair. So yeah, maybe some comments on that as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. Okay, let me quickly answer first question. Takut terlupa. First question is about gross profit. I am sorry that I don't get it where you get the more than double punya jump tu, but from the number of here, from the gross profit, what the message that I want to send, that we are only targeting like maximum, not maximum, around 5% of improvement from gross margin, in which I think is very doable, because right now, with very minimal collaboration that we had with, for example, with the Bengkel, dengan Perodua, we managed to bring down, we managed to improve the margin already. And dengan adanya collaboration lagi in the future, for example, menurunkan the maintenance punya cost lagi dengan collaboration lagi, dan juga for example the road tax insurance that we could collaborate with insurance to bring down the cost lagi, ataupun we can also bring down the rate dengan financial institution, that will definitely improve the margins lah, the gross profit margin.
Hazim, if I can add to answer Zamir Rashid's question. So basically, Bro Zamir, you can't simply take the gross profit divide by the number of cars, because basically apa yang Zamir buat adalah dia ambil gross profit of 2019 actual 300k divide by 58 cars, and the 800 gross profit for cars 800,000 divide by 100. That's how he get the double. But you have to remember that cars coming in throughout the year. And when we started 2019, we only had about, berapa Zim? About 30 or 35. Yeah. So Bro Zamir, throughout 2019, we increased our cars from just 30 something to close to 60. So it is not just as simply as you make gross profit by the number of cars. The number of cars coming in are increasing. Okay, that is one. Very. For example, we just have. Sorry. So secondly is because we just have our strategic partnership with the workshops end of last year. And taking this into consideration, these are the things that will improve our gross profit, because it will lower down the maintenance cost and etc.
Okay. Right. Can I take the second question?
Second question.
Second question. Okay. It's about valuation. This is, I think this is very important for me to address this question. It's about valuation, because not Bro Zamir alone. There are a few people that have been questioning us why the valuation is too high when and you like positioning yourself as a tech company. Okay. First of all, I'm not sure whether everyone agrees with me or not, but not every tech company, when they are in position with us, like us, in almost like I would say sekarang ni kita Carpedia ni dekat zero lah, because in terms of tech kita tak ada apa-apa kan. Yang already profitable, yeah, and most of these company, they are not really making money, but what they sell ialah the technology that they are going to develop in 5 years time lah. Hence to bring out the punya valuation tu. But us, how we did our valuation is very conservative, very realistic. How we do it is looking at number of 2019 and 2020 revenue. We take the average and we do the we apply the multiple of a very conservative number at 4.6. So that's how we get the 15 million valuation. And yeah, it's mainly we don't promise on tech on what or whatnot, but just look at the numbers lah. That's how we come out dengan valuation of 15 million tu.
Okay, so are you guys done?
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, I think we have to stop here.
Okay,
But
okay.
don't worry, you can still ask questions. Everybody can still ask questions on
Yes,
the
can.
You just visit equity.pitchin.my, and if you haven't done so, please register as investor. You can download all the resources for Carpedia, and you can still ask them the questions on the platform itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
again, I would like to thank everybody for spending their Saturday with us, and hope to see you guys soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks for your time.
Thank you everyone. Yeah.
Bye, see you soon.
See you soon. All right.